So now talk to me how AI is shaping your MSP. So from internal AI adoption and what are the possibilities and what are you realizing so far internal and then your customers. So how this AI coming right now is impacting and shaping your entrepreneurial journey internally and also for your customers.
Once you get that piece out of the way, we can open up the opportunity to have strategic conversations about, now let's talk about how we can get the computer to do things for you, like not just spreadsheet stuff, but like what we've always wanted computers to do for us. Which is why, for me, this whole AI world, like I feel like I was born for this world. This is Star Trek coming to life.
We are super excited about the new chapter in technology, which is why we are here on the podcast.
Welcome to AI by Design podcast. Brings MSP leaders into real, unscripted conversations about innovation that actually works. Hosted by Kaila, it's focused on turning AI into measurable business impact.
Hi, Keith. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sunny. Good to be here today.
So good to see you, my friend. And I want to start with your entrepreneurial journey because it's very interesting. And I know you really, really well because we took some trips together, and I would love to share that with the world.
Yeah. I started Gurus back in 2002. And one of the goals for me was to always be an innovative company and always to strive to create a place where employees would like to come to work. You can never control someone's happiness, but it's always a good thing to strive to create an environment that people enjoy and come to work at. So I've been doing it ever since.
That's awesome. Now, so I know that you are a very, very experienced MSP. I know that you have done really well when it comes to really serving your customers, and as part of some peer groups that we were part of the peer group together. So like from the maturity level of your MSP is high up there, and the way you serve your customers is also high up there. But can you talk to us about your clients and your services? What are you delivering to your customers?
Yeah. So we're a traditional MSP. So we're doing the traditional managed service provider thing. So we're managing full environments. We have some of those co-managed IT customers as well, where we create something a little bit more custom for them, just depending on their needs. But what I tell customers is, right now they're focused on, there's sort of different levels of maturity in a customer's environment. And, level one is making sure the environment's healthy, managed, secured, all of those things. Because that then, once you get that piece out of the way, we can open up the opportunity to have strategic conversations about, now let's talk about how we can get the computer to do things for you. Like not just spreadsheet stuff, but, like what we've always wanted computers to do for us. Which is why, for me, this whole AI world, like I feel like I was born for this world. This is Star Trek coming to life.
We are super excited about the new chapter in technology, which is why we are here on this podcast. So now talk to me how AI is shaping your MSP. So from internal AI adoption and what are the possibilities and what are you realizing so far internal and then your customers. So how this AI coming right now is impacting and shaping your entrepreneurial journey internally and also for your customers.
One thing I think I had started talking to customers about AI and my first conversations were trying to understand where was their level of understanding. And so what I found was it was really wide. You had some people who hadn't tried it yet, some people, a group of folks that were very interested and intrigued, and then of course people in the middle. So I was really surprised at sort of just how wide that chasm was between people who were almost on the fear side, perhaps, and then people who are on the excited side. And I think on the fear kind of, it's more of a lack of understanding and a lack of how to utilize and just how AI works under the hood. So when I realized that, it became clear to me that I needed to buy some licensing to, we started with Copilot. So everybody has a Copilot license in the company just so that they can start getting used to interfacing with the interface. But that's just ground floor, right? Like that's just scratching the surface of what it can do. So, then you start exploring a little bit into Pilot Studio and, publishing an agent to the whole organization. Then you go into, if you have developers on staff, you can look at the Azure AI stuff. But we're kind of playing with all of it right now because we're wanting to understand the industry. So we're digging into the automation tools. We're digging into other tools like Claude and, Perplexity and all of these other things that are coming out, and learning from our peers through education. And it's definitely moving super fast. We actually have a small group of us that are working on our internal AI initiatives. So we actually meet every Friday after our cohort call and learn and do. So we've been putting together, being of an engineer background, it's helpful for me to understand something. It's helpful for me to build it. So I built a small, I call it an AI server so that I can run LLMs locally. That just helps me understand, what can you do more with this? And then, how do you get into, people really want is, creating robots, right? Like when people think about AI, they think about, I turned my computer on, I did my job for me today. And so so one of the things we did as a result is we brought on college intern to do some programming for us. So I've got him in different meetings, and then we talk about what are things in that meeting that were talked about that we could maybe apply AI to, and/or automation. And so it's having some interesting discussions.
That's awesome. That's where it starts. Curiosity and experimentation that turn into something real and repeatable. That's how the world works. So, no, I truly appreciate you going first. I think there are only few MSPs that I know where they are not feeling stuck. They have exercised their curiosity muscle to go out there and learn what it means for my business and what it means for my customers. So what I heard you say is that Copilot is where it starts internally as a customer zero and automations, and also thinking beyond that in terms of LLMs, right? That what can we do by having that LLM internally available to us, with maybe multiple LLMs that are available to us in that server. And then with the customers, having them experience Copilot, and then also looking at their automation journey map as well, defining their AI journey. So when you're talking to the customers, Keith, what are the key questions? Like, what are a few of the questions that customers are like, these are common questions from an MSP when it comes to their AI questions?
For those that are, I would say, kind of digging deeper into it, some of the questions that have come out, I think, have been more related to, I had one customer is like, how do I get these two different systems to talk to each other? Like, how do I get them to connect? So, they're able to, some of them are able to go to a certain point, and then they sort of hit a wall. Either it's a wall of the technology or a wall of their understanding and knowledge. On the other side, sometimes I've had some folks that wanted to kind of AI onto a process that was kind of messy to start with. And I advise them against doing that. Like, let's start with a good, clean process and then train the AI on that, rather than, we could take the next step. And that had to do with their sales quoting process. They wanted to in their case, each sales rep uses a different methodology in order to produce a quote. And I recommended to them that the first place to start would be to unify, get that sales process and that quoting process unified and universal across the team. Then it's a lot easier to look at automation and AI to do those things. And some of it, there's still a lack of understanding on how the tools work. And of course, tools are changing so fast. Just a few months ago, the only LLM that was available in Copilot was GPT, and now you can select Claude, Sonnet, and Opus. It's sort of exciting every day when you go to work. You open up all your different tools from the different providers, and you're like, what new thing did they add?
Yeah. And now with the Claude Cowork, you can basically on your phone, you can initiate a task, which will be done wherever it's installed in your environment. Could be my computer. And basically, you give that task in the evening, it will be done in the morning, right? By the time you open up your computer, it's like such amazing, new feature, which kind of they released in the last 2 weeks. But
Right.
when it comes to Copilot, I'm going to share something that I experienced in I think it was last Thursday when I did the interview. So I am talking to a candidate, and it was Microsoft Teams meeting, and this was a critical position for us. So before the meeting, I have my job description. I had the scorecard, like what success measures are going to be from this position. And then before this candidate came to me, they have gone through some testing
And
it could be like a disc type of testing, but we use Colby, strategic coach, concepts of understanding unique abilities. And so I had that report, which was done before. So I fed everything into Copilot that I am about to get on this interview, be my tandem interviewer. And then I want you to not only give me some recommendation of the questions as we go along, but also give me your assessment sheet towards the end of the interview.
yeah,
And it just, it was so amazing to experience that. We have been using AI for client calls, like client calls are happening, and salespeople have the sales coach kind of coaching them, digital sales coach, based on our playbook and how we basically take the customer during discovery journey to the last call. But this is the first time I experienced this with a candidate.
yeah.
And it was so amazing.
Thank you for watching the AI by Design podcast. Stay tuned for more conversations at the intersection of AI, leadership, and innovation. Follow us on our channels, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.